Okay. My name is Thayan Hardy. Everybody calls me Miss T. I am lovingly known as Miss T. A little bit about me is I'm like mom. I'm fun mom. I'm the fun aunt to my community, and I enjoy the role that I play as a leader. And yeah, yes, I have 4 in Baltimore City Public Schools.
What school do they attend?
Guilford Elementary, middle school. Yeah.
So what are some of the
A serious lack of funding. I was privileged enough to grow up in the county, in Charles County, and I went to some really good schools. And a lot of the things that I was privileged to in the 90s, it's 2019, and a lot of these kids don't have the basic things that I had in elementary school and middle schools. And a lot of that has to do with a lack of funding, and just a lot of people, it's turned more into a business instead of an educational system, in my personal opinion. My children, no, because I work very hard to make sure my kids are at least where I was. So my children, no. But a lot of other children, yes. The community that I'm in, there's a lot of kids that slip through the cracks, that don't get the attention that they need. A lot of mental health issues that aren't being dealt with significantly the way they should be. So it pours over into the educational system. So we need more community schools. Yeah. Some things that I see is simply, simply graduating. I work with a lot of troubled students, and a lot of those students, their parents are low income. Mom's working hard, dad's working hard, and the child is not they're not receiving the attention that they need. And in some of the areas where schools could step in to make the situation better, they don't. They can't. There's not enough resources. There's not enough funding for schools to have basic programs to help with situations. We have a lot of schools that we have oversized classrooms. Teachers are overwhelmed. So it comes down to, you have some students that are getting their education, but a lot are able to slide into the cracks because you have these overworked teachers and nobody's there to assist them. They don't, the classroom is too big to pay attention to all of the kids. So if the child is not specifically paying or paying attention or whatever, it tends to roll over to them that they are just failed, instead of someone stepping in to say, this is how we can help them. This is what we can do for them. We don't have a lot of that anymore. So I have been working with the Baltimore Education Coalition for a few years. We've been fighting for adequate funding in schools. I've seen some positive changes. My children's school is going to be closing year after next and joining with another school. I'm hoping that everything goes as planned, and the classrooms will be properly sized. The students will be getting more assistance. We'll have more community-based programs. So I'm hoping that these things get better. I've also created my own behavioral intervention program, and I'm hoping that, I saw a difference when I was there. I see a difference now that I'm not there anymore. So I'm hoping that I can bring forth the importance of having behavioral intervention programs in schools so that they can be included in school budgets and not an accessory.
Read them again if you want.
Yeah, one more time.
So early childhood education, ample supply of high quality and diverse teachers and leaders, college career readiness, more resources for at-risk students, and governance and accountability.
I couldn't pick this one because they're all important. Early childhood development, as far as schools are concerned, the earlier you start, the better the results. What was the second one you said?
Ample supply of high quality and diverse teachers and leaders.
Yes, we have a lot of, I know we have a lot of schools where, a lot of the students don't, they come to school and they can't really relate to their teachers. So diversifying the teachers would most definitely change how a lot of these kids see class. And there was a third and a fourth one.
College career readiness and resources.
College career readiness, yes, definitely would help with, well, everybody's not going to go, to college. And it's very unrealistic for us to try to push that initiative on these kids. I would more so like to see us getting them prepared for adulthood as far as being able to get a job, being able to fill out a resume and do those types of things, because a lot of our adults can't do that. And resources?
Resources for at-risk students.
And resources for at-risk students, yes. So yes, it's all important. Resources for at-risk students is very important because we have a lot more at-risk students now than we have students that are, succeeding and making it and pushing ahead. So all of those things I think are all necessary for our youth to be successful. Knocking on doors, making phone calls, sending things home through the students, teachers being more involved with calling parents, more community-based schools that help families. It makes it easier to pass on that information. Kerwin, I think it could make a huge difference. So, but we have a lot of families that don't even know what Kerwin is, let alone that it's happening. So, I work pretty hard to do that much. So, but knocking on doors. I'm a firm believer in that. Hitting the streets and making sure people know. I'll stand on the corner on the soapbox and say it. Knocking on doors I think is very important. Talking to people in the community is very important. We have to open these conversations up to not just those people that are going, but also anyone in that area in the community. So.
Going forward, what would you like to see the city of Baltimore?
I would like to see Baltimore invest more in our schools. We invest so much in, our police department and locking these babies up. They spent $10 million on a jail, and we had to go fight in Annapolis for $10 million for the school. So I would say investing in our kids, investing in rec centers and community-based organizations, youth programs, and things of that nature. I've always believed that investing in our children is way better than investing in our criminals. So like putting up a baby jail, as we like to call it, I feel was a poor investment. That $10 million could have gone to opening some youth rec centers, opening some youth programs, investing in some nonprofits that would have invested in our children. They are our future, and at the end of the day, if we don't invest in them, we have no future. So
It's interesting to hear. I did not even know that.
my hopes for my children are that they see all the work that I do, and that they develop a passion to do the same type of work, and that they see that I'm doing this not just for my children, but for every child. I want my children to have the same type of heart that I have, and the same love of community and love of people. I want my children to, fight for the best and be the best people that they can be. So I pray that they follow in my footsteps and become social justice leaders just like their mom. So.
I'm sure they will. That's a good role model.